Hi everyone, in this video we'll be covering manual expense and asset inputs, located in the manual input sheet. Similar to manual revenue, this sheet is to provide additional flexibility for one-off inputs, or inputs with specific profiles. For example, a cost that is incurred for only 3 months every year, but cannot be easily replicated using the assumptions page. Where possible, we suggest going through the assumptions page, and not to use the manual input sheet. This is because there are other information and linkages provided in the assumptions page that may be useful for you to think through as a business owner. The manual input sheet is only there for additional flexibility and a bit of a shortcut. If you don't think you will be using the manual input sheet, feel free to skip to the next video now. Looking at the model structure, you'll remember that under each section, the selected scenario is displayed first, followed by the input areas for each of the 10 possible scenarios. The actual fields contained in this sheet mirrors those in the assumptions sheet, and it's just presented in a horizontal format. Let's start with an expense, call it irregular expense. You still have direct or indirect selection and cost category. Note, since you are directly inputting cost assumptions, these expenses are no longer linked to any volume drivers. And these categories you select is really for grouping expenses in the outputs. Payment timing is discussed in the next video. As with revenue, input the expense in the month to which they relate. So if you have a cost that is $1,000 in months 1, 3, and 5, you simply input it here. You'll see this gets picked up in the rows above, since this is our selected scenario. Moving on to assets. Let's say office printer. Let's say it is 50% debt funded through the setup cost loan. Let's say it works for 2 years and a replacement is required afterwards. We expect no salvage value. And let's say we buy it in the second month for $800. Each entry here will be treated as a new asset. That's all for this video. In the next video, we'll be looking at cash flow or payment timing. Thanks for watching.